It took just one joke and the whole machine snapped. Diego Luna, the Mexican actor, stepped in as guest host on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Why does Donald Trump want to screw immigrants? Why? Because the one he married won't screw him.
And he delivered a monologue that sent Donald Trump and Fox News into a full-scale meltdown.
Last night, I got the highest honor a late-night host can receive.
When did the comedy and entertainment shows, Laura, become an excuse for boorish political commentary?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Actor Diego Luna,
oh my
guest
God.
host, I don't know who that is, guest hosted for Jimmy Kimmel. I don't think I've ever watched a Jimmy Kimmel.
No one else is either.
And it was happened the other night, and this was, to be fair, this was really knee-slapping in its monologue.
You wanted to slap something.
They pay a lot of taxes, a lot of them, with their jobs. Yeah. Papers or no papers.
Is he speaking from experience? Why do we care, Laura? He's an actor.
Again, I don't even know who that is.
Well, he's an actor on a Disney Plus show, a Star Wars show called Andor.
Oh. Thank you. By the way, Jimmy, that's my gift to you. Whatever name this woman has, I got her to finally watch your show.
What happens when a Mexican actor mocks Donald Trump on national television? And what if Fox News takes the bait on live air? This wasn't just a joke. It triggered a furious backlash from Trump's biggest media allies and exposed just how fragile the mega media bubble can be. So why did one late-night monologue cause such a meltdown? And what did Diego Luna say next that made things even worse for Trump? This segment features real clips and commentary for educational and media analysis purposes. So let's break it down.
I've never hosted a talk show before, but I will try my best. English is not my first language, so I hope you guys will help me if I get, deported. No? With everything going on in this country around immigration and authoritarian policies of Donald Trump, it is no small thing that a Mexican is hosting such an important show.
Diego Luna, best known for Star Wars and Narcos, had just stepped into the spotlight not as an actor, but as a guest host, joking about deportation in English with an accent Fox News couldn't ignore. On a national stage, with millions watching, a Mexican actor just pointed out the irony of hosting an American talk show during an era of border walls and papers, please politics. And for Trump world, it was unacceptable. If you've ever felt like your story wasn't welcome, hit that subscribe button. Because it's for all of us who believe empathy belongs on the main stage.
I spent long seasons working here. Back when people still made movies in LA. Yeah. Until I felt alone and homesick. And just as I felt that, I immediately found a community that came out to support me, to show me their love and to remind me that something holds us together. The people that lifted me up were mostly people that had left their countries to find a new life, or the sons and daughters of immigrants that had come here in order to work and build a healthy, enjoyable, and dignified life away from their place of origin.
In the middle of a late-night show, a Mexican actor quietly thanked immigrants for helping him feel less alone, and somehow that was more powerful than any headline. No rants, no drama, just a reminder that behind every debate about borders, there are people, and that's exactly what makes some people so nervous.
All the people that I met shared an unspoken gratitude to this country, a country that opened its doors to them. And the most beautiful thing of all is that all these immigrants brought their stories with them. They brought their loyalties, their love, their traditions, always with the openness to adopt new ones, to grow, and to complement each other in this vast cultural exchange.
Just that quiet reminder. They bring loyalty, memory, and a willingness to make this place better, not just for themselves, but for everyone. And maybe that's why some people get uncomfortable. Because it's hard to argue with someone who says thank you and means it, especially when they're saying it in English with an accent Trump or Fox still pretends not to understand.
They feed it, they nurture and teach its children, they care for the elderly, they work in construction, hospitality, they run kitchens, they're technicians, merchants, athletes, drivers, farmers. They pay a lot of taxes, a lot of them, with their jobs. Yeah. Papers or no papers. In 2022, undocumented immigrants contributed around $96.7 billion worth of taxes. But That is something that the Trump administration doesn't want you to know.
Luna didn't raise his voice. He raised a number, 96.7 billion. That's what undocumented workers paid in taxes, while Trump called them freeloaders and sent ICE after their families. The irony? The same people Trump tried to deport were busy holding the country together. But facts like that never quite made it into his speeches, probably because they don't chant well.
I have never been able to fully understand how it is that someone like Donald Trump is able to acquire this level of power. I always struggle to understand how his hate speech can take root in a country whose nature has always been a welcoming. There are a lot of lies flying around about immigrants, but I'm sure you have more than one story that can attest to the contrary. Talk about it. Share it. That helps.
Luna didn't call Trump a villain. He asked a question, and somehow that cut deeper. How does hate speech gain so much ground in a country built by immigrants? How does a man who marries one turn around and weaponize fear against the rest? The math doesn't add up unless you subtract empathy.
It is not acceptable, nor it's normal, to separate families. Violence and terror are not okay. Immigrants need to know that their struggle is yours as well. Politicians have been dosing on this problem because it's easier than acknowledging it. Because this country benefits from the work of immigrants, but refuses to recognize their importance. The solution is clear now, and it's been clear for decades. Give them a path to legal certainty.
Luna said it plainly. Stop tearing families apart, stop acting like this is too hard, and start treating immigrant workers like the backbone they are. They clean homes, build roads, pay billions in taxes, and still live in fear. And all they've been asking for is paperwork. But if you think that message went over quietly, think again, because right after Luna said Trump's name, Fox News lit the fuse. And what came next? You'll want to stay for this.
I even got a review from Fox News. How exciting is that? Come on. Narcos Mexico star trashes Trump immigration policies while guest hosting Kimmel. Yeah? I've done more than 70 movies and shows. I wonder why they choose the one where I play a drug dealer. Yeah. But if Fox News is talking about it, that means I'm probably on Donald Trump's radar now. So I've taken a few extra precautions. I have my suitcase packed, ready to go in case I need to flee the country, you know. Tijuana is hours away.
So it didn't take long. The moment Luna mentioned Trump, Fox News reached for the oldest trick in the book: reduce the messenger, distract from the message. Out of 70 credits, they chose the one where he plays a criminal. And just like that, the network calling everyone else too political turned a comedy monologue into a national threat. What Luna said wasn't radical, it was statistical. What he offered wasn't anger, it was policy. But for Fox, facts hit harder than insults. So they did what they do best: changed the subject, rolled the tape, and hoped no one noticed history repeating itself again in prime time. Funny how Fox never has time to report that part. If you've got a story that proves them wrong, drop it in the comments. So Luna didn't back down, he lawyered up, and not to silence himself, but to mock just how risky it's become to joke about power.
I've also hired an immigration lawyer. This is Lori. She's going to listen to my monologue and tell me if I go too hard on Trump or the MAGA universe in general. Let's test it out, Lori. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do we have any Trump jokes laying around?
Oh, yeah. We got a lot. Yeah, why don't you take these too?
Okay, you can put those in my trunk.
Yeah, you got
All right, let's do this. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Eyes, everybody, hide!
Yeah, that one's okay.
Let's try another one. Why does Donald Trump want to screw immigrants?
Why?
Because the one he married won't screw him. Okay, Lori. Thank you very much.
This wasn't just comedy, it was a legal rehearsal. Every punchline was a test, and every laugh came with a question. Is this still allowed? And when the immigration lawyer says the ICE joke passes, that says plenty about the system too. And just when you thought Diego was done joking, he dove straight into the most radioactive place online, Truth Social.
This morning I went on Truth Social for the first time in my life. I felt dirty. I had to shower 4 times. Trump has been updating everyone on the situation in the Middle East. It is very complicated, but thankfully your president is a political genius. And really broke it down in simple terms.
You know what? We basically have 2 countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.
Thank you, Mr. President. By the way, that's what many people say about him, right? He doesn't know what the he's doing.
Trump went on Truth Social to explain a war and somehow ended up explaining himself. The joke wasn't in the punchline, it was in the quote. And when the political genius describes global conflict like a bar fight at closing time, there's really not much left to add, except maybe a towel. Or 4. So why?
Trump was very disappointed in Israel and Iran yesterday because they didn't obey his rules on the ceasefire.
There was one rocket that I guess was fired after the time limit. These guys got to calm down. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded. They didn't have to unload. Israel unloaded a lot. The biggest load that we've seen. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're the one who gave them 12 hours. This is not how you get people who are obsessed with war to stop fighting. These are addicts.
Trump gave Israel and Iran a 12-hour limit like he was hosting a reality show, not responding to a war. Diego didn't need to exaggerate, he just pointed out the absurdity. You can't expect war addicts to quit cold turkey just because Donald Trump said so. And if disappointment is his strongest tool, maybe save the countdown clock for a golf tournament.
Okay, enough. Enough of Donald Trump. Yes. And that bull, I mean, or his poop, no? Let's say.
Yep. Next, Luna takes the satire up a notch with a fake plan to help Americans flee to Mexico. Stick around, because this is where it gets hilariously uncomfortable. The following segment contains satirical content presented in a comedic format. It is intended for entertainment and commentary purposes only, and does not depict actual events, statements, or individuals.
Back then, you were ruled by a mad king who could do whatever he wanted. Yeah. He could start wars, you know, break the law, put the military in the streets, arrest people for no reason, impose tariffs, take advantage of women without consequence, hire his unqualified relatives. It's great that you guys don't have to deal with that anymore.
Diego rolls out a travel service that lets Americans sneak into Mexico by hiding inside a giant piñata. Yes, you heard that right.
Buenos dias, USA. I am award-winning Mexican actor, producer, and director, Diego Luna.
And I'm Guillermo.
We are here to tell you about an exciting travel opportunity with our brand new service, Gringo.
Here's how it works. Step 1, you give money to me and Diego Luna. Step 2, we take you to Mexico and you are very happy. End of the steps.
But Diego, you ask, why wouldn't I just fly to Mexico? Because Trump fired all air traffic controllers. Luckily, we have a much safer plan. It's called the Trojan Piñata.
We pack you into a giant piñata like a bunch of mosquitoes and sneak you over the border.
And then your new life begins. In the States, you work in office buildings made of concrete and sadness. But in Mexico, you can work on the beach with the sun and a cerveza.
That means beer.
But Diego, you ask, pinches gringos, ¿cuántas preguntas?
Muchas.
Will I have to pay taxes like immigrants do in the States? Digital nomads pay no taxes. Just like your president. We'll handle everything while you enjoy your cerveza.
That means another beer.
Plus, Mexico is brimming with amazing food.
Woo!
And don't worry, Mexican restaurants have added a mild section to their menus.
What?
So this doesn't happen to all you sensitive little gabachos.
Ow, this salsa is too spicy. And now I'm dead. True story.
You won't be homesick. Mexico has everything a US citizen needs. 42 Costco's, a Starbucks on every corner. We're even opening a Chipotle soon.
We don't know what the Chipotle is, but we hear white people love it.
The US is going south, so why shouldn't you? It's time to green go to Mexico!
When Luna joked about Americans sneaking into Mexico, hidden inside a giant piñata, it wasn't just absurdity for laughs. It was a mirror, a twisted, candy-coated mirror reflecting the irony of a country so broken under Trump's rule. Even the punchline had to cross the border.
But I do love it here. Whenever I come to the US from Mexico, everyone says, "Welcome to America," right? And I'm like, wait, but I was in Mexico. I was already in America. Because Mexico is part of America, right?
He's not just mocking a wall. He's asking if your greatest country now comes with militarized streets, family separations, and fast food diplomacy. Why wouldn't people want out? And now, Luna's bringing out someone who's spent a lifetime turning words into change. Stay with us. The energy's shifting, and the next guest, she's a legend.
How do you keep your positivity? How do you keep the hope? What is it that keeps you moving forward?
Well, I have seen over the years, over the decades that I've lived, that you do see change. It takes a long time sometimes, but the one thing that we know is that change happens when people are the ones that make it happen. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. And that's what we're seeing now. And after this dark period, we're going to see other things the things that are missing in our government, in our society, are going to happen. And as the poet Pablo Neruda said, you can cut all the flowers, but you can't hold back the spring.
When Dolores Huerta says change only happens when people make it happen, she's not giving advice. She's delivering a fact. It's not wishful thinking. It's a pattern proven by history. From labor rights to civil rights, nothing moved until the people did. And in the middle of Luna's satire and jokes, this moment hit differently because it reminded us that behind every laugh, there's still a fight worth showing up for. So, a moment that turned words into movement and the crowd into a chorus.
Who's got the power? We got the power! What kind of power? People power! So are we going to use our people power? We say, yes, we can. Yes, I can. Si se puede. Let's do it all together with an organized hand clap.
Yes.
Let's go. Si se puede. Si se puede. Si se puede. Si se puede.
In that moment, the room transformed. No longer just an audience. They became a force lifted by Huerta's voice, united by a chant. People power wasn't just a slogan, it was a call to act. And Luna let the stage belong to her, as history echoed through every clap. Real change doesn't come from the top, it rises from below. Loud, organized, and unstoppable.
Thanks to the generosity and the openness that surged from it, all because people from different cultures and realities agreed to give each other a chance and build something remarkable together. This place is a powerful example of what's possible, of what can be achieved when we put empathy first. Many people are feeling persecuted. Far too many people live in fear. Fear of taking their kids to school, or going to places where they earn an honest living. These people, they're your neighbors, your friends, immigrants. This is very unfair.
In the end, Luna didn't need a punchline, just the truth. Empathy isn't weakness, it's a blueprint. And when neighbors live in fear for simply going to work or dropping off their kids, it's not policy, it's failure. His words didn't preach, they pointed toward a future built not on walls, but on shared humanity.
Which in Spanish means goodbye. So I guess, yes, this is a goodbye. There's another No Kings protest on July 17th. So, yeah, I mean, if you're not going to a Kid Rock concert that day, maybe you can check it out. Go out, by making your voice heard, you won't just make the United States of America great again. You'll help to make the world a little better.
Diego Luna signed off with a wink, but not without purpose. His final words weren't just a farewell, they were a call to action. In a show that began with jokes and satire, it ended with sincerity. A reminder that real change doesn't come from kings or slogans, but from showing up, speaking out, and standing together. Whether you're marching for justice or just choosing empathy over fear, Luna's message is clear. This conversation isn't over. It's just getting started. At its heart, this entire episode was more than just a late-night monologue. It was a mirror held up to a divided nation. From sharp jokes to heartfelt truths, Diego Luna walked the line between comedy and critique, using laughter not to mock, but to reveal. The central flashpoint: immigration not just as a policy debate, but as a lived reality. Whether it was Melania's visa, Trump's bombastic declarations, or the quiet fear that millions face daily, Luna used the stage to ask one powerful question: who gets to belong and who decides? Yet through every punchline and every pause, the message remained balanced and grounded. This wasn't about choosing sides, it was about choosing to care. Because in the end, borders may divide country, but it's empathy that connects people. This video features commentary and satire from a televised segment involving the host of Late Night Luna, Diego, addressing public figures including Donald Trump and media outlets such as Fox News. All references are based on verified broadcasts, public statements, and widely reported reactions. We do not present private information or speculative claims. This content fully complies with YouTube's community guidelines and fair use policy and is intended for commentary, media critique, and public discourse. If you found this coverage helpful, balanced, or worth thinking about, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Republican Representative Thomas Massie issued a warning to Donald Trump this week. Your actions are going to cost the GOP its majorities in next year's midterm elections. Now, that's assuming we even have midterm elections next year, because, let's be honest, that's not a given at this point. Trump is already working with at least 5 Republican governors to gerrymander their states beyond recognition, essentially making it impossible for Democrats to win. And let's not forget, Republicans in Miami outright canceled their local elections this year. They've already shown they're willing to pull that stunt, so it's not a stretch to think it could happen again. But assuming elections do happen, Massie says the writing is on the wall, and Trump is the one holding the pen. According to Massie, Republicans are heading for an electoral slaughter. Not a physical one, obviously, a metaphorical bloodbath at the ballot box. But here's the key. Massie isn't sounding the alarm over Trump's unpopular policies or rhetoric. He's warning about Trump's war within the party itself. Trump is using his massive war chest, over $500 million, to fund MAGA candidates to primary sitting Republicans like Massie. Why? Because Trump can't stand Massie. Massie was one of the few Republicans who openly opposed Trump's aggressive actions on Iran. He even helped draft legislation to block Trump from taking similar military action without congressional approval. He also voted against Trump's Big Beautiful Stimulus bill, one of only 2 House Republicans to do so. So now Trump is on the attack. He's spent months calling Massie weak and ineffective, and he's actively looking for a hardline MAGA candidate to challenge him in the primaries. In response, Massie took to social media this week and said, "Attacking Republicans who lean independent or libertarian is how Trump is going to lose us the majority." And he's not wrong. We've seen this play out repeatedly. Hardcore MAGA candidates can win national attention, but when it comes down to local races, county by county and state by state, their success rate plummets. We saw it in 2018, 2020, 2022, and again in 2024. MAGA candidates often lose in competitive districts, especially purple ones. Massie understands this dynamic. Replacing a moderate Republican with a MAGA firebrand in a swing district is a gift to the Democrats. But Trump doesn't care. Whether Republicans win or lose the House or Senate is irrelevant to him. What he does care about is revenge, punishing anyone in the party who didn't toe the line. Even if Republicans lose their majority and can't pass his agenda, Trump doesn't care. He'll just keep issuing executive orders, even if they're legally dubious. We've already seen him do that. He doesn't face the consequences. Everyone else does. This isn't about building a stronger GOP. It's about building a Trumpier one. And if that means burning down his own party to settle scores, so be it.